Good morning, EasyEquities community, and welcome to this little webinar. I'm joined by Charles Savage, our CEO, needs no introduction. And it's a special day for us here at EasyEquities. It's our 9th birthday, and we're really looking forward to celebrating and spending the day with many of our community members, doing a whole range of activities across South Africa. So thanks for joining us. And we're going to get right into it by asking Charles, apart from the CEO, is the person who had the idea for EasyEquities 9 years ago, or more than 9 years ago. what his highlights and lowlights have been. And my job really is to direct Charles, which he doesn't take well, to keep us on track. But Charles, highlights and lowlights of 9 years.
Yeah, how's it, everyone? Happy birthday, man. Any of you remember turning 9? Do you?
You can't because it's too long ago.
Well, exactly. I turned 50 this year, which kind of is I find birthdays always an opportunity to reflect on where you've come from a little, and then to more focus on where you're going. And so I think a birthday, especially our 9th birthday, is an opportunity to do exactly that. But the one thing that I think that age has taught me is that the older you get, the reflections or the insights are better. So I want to look at EasyEquities as a 9-year-old, but give it the advice of a 50-year-old, because I think that we won't be around for its 50th birthday. But I'd love to. I wish I was going to be around.
I'm planning to be.
Are you? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm not. But it would be, if we were looking back at 50 years of EasyEquities, what would the highlights reel be? What would the criticisms be as well? And what insights potentially could we take from looking at it that way today, so that it doesn't take us 50 years to get there? So for me, and I've thought about this a lot. I actually think about it pretty much every day. But there really are 3 standout highlights, and interestingly, there are lowlights as well. And so there are strengths, but are weaknesses. And the first one for me, which is by far the thing that I'm proudest about, and I think that we will remain proudest about, is the people. And when I talk about people, I talk about all of you, the community that we built of investors, the shareholders that have come to our cause, who believe in the same things that we do, and the team that get up every single day to build and drive this business. And what makes me so proud about them is not the number of them. We talk about 2 million customers, 2 million registrations, 1 million active customers. Those are just numbers. What really makes me proud about it is they are a perfect reflection of the fabric of South Africa. They represent the DNA of this country completely. And, because it's kind of World Cup, they represent the Springbok team, in my view. They have the resilience, the agility, the determination, and the diversity to win World Cups together as customers, as staff, as team, as shareholders. And so that's the thing that I'm proudest about, is what we've created there. And it's in talking about how proud I am, I think it's also our greatest weakness, is because as South Africans, there are 55 million of us. And we've only yet managed to reach 1 million of them and convince them that investing is the right thing to do. And the one thing that I can't be convinced of is that investing is the wrong thing to do. It is the right thing to do. And being 50, it's the one thing that I wish I'd done sooner. And so for me, the strength is the diversity of it, and the fact that it's this beautiful reflection of the fabric of South Africa, which is capable of winning World Cups. The weakness is that there isn't more of us. And I don't want to wait another 9 years to get another 1 million customers. And I think that in forgetting about the strength, but reflecting on the weakness, is how do we accelerate this faster together? How do we make it the 10th birthday celebrate another 1 million, and the 11th birthday another 10 million, whatever the numbers might be, because the numbers aren't relevant really, but just to get this thing to grow faster. Because at 50, the only insight I've got to tell you that you're going to get to 50 that you might share with me is that time is the resource that you wish you had more of. And I think as you get older, that is the thing that becomes more and more focused for me. And if I had it all over again, I would waste less time. And I think in EasyEquities turning 9, the message we should take from 50-year-olds is stop wasting time. Let's get rid of the excuses and build community faster.
Yeah, I think it's great. And for me, just taking on to that, I think one of the lowlights for me has been our lack of sufficient education on what does investment mean. So EasyEquities is a phenomenal platform. We've grown from having one wallet, ZAR, to all these amazing wallets, all these phenomenal products. It's not a quick rich scheme. It's not gambling. Unless users, all of us, pitch up regularly, consistently, depositing money, whether it's 5 Rand or 5 million, whatever yours is, and investing. And we're agnostic. We don't care what people invest in because it's different for every person.
Yeah.
So educate yourself, do the research. Is it a TFSA? Is it USD? Is it a mixture?
Yeah.
Is it an Alan Gray product? Is it whatever it is? And I think that's where we fail. It's not just getting the users, it's users understanding, all of us, that we've got to be consistent in our behavior.
Yeah. And you've led me to the second kind of highlight, which is the platform. And platform, you can replicate the platform with money. And so it's not it's much harder to replicate the people with money. You can't just go and buy communities and ask them to fall in love with you or pay them to fall in love with you. It's not a lasting marriage. But a platform is something you could just build with money. But we've done it with very little money. And if you compare us to our peer group, locally and internationally, they've achieved a lot less with a lot more capital. And so I'm very proud of the platform we've created. It's a massive strength. It's a massive advantage for us. And so it's a very big highlight for me, and kudos to the team who've pulled it together and constantly pull it together. But the weakness talks to the points that you've made, is that we haven't taken that platform and, in my view, made it easy enough and made it habitual enough so that our customers pitch up every single day. And I think that's our problem. So our problem to solve. In the same 9 years ago, everyone said to me, South Africans were poor investors. They shouldn't manage their money. They're not going to do this.
They can't.
Yeah, they can't. Okay, so we've proven that 1 million people can. But what we haven't focused on is making it more habitual and even easier. I think we're getting lost in complexity. I think because we've done so much, and you've noted some of it, but I was looking at our functionality stack the other day. There are over 50 things you can do on our platform. When we started, you could do one thing. You could buy SA equities only. That's it. Today, you guys know that you can buy US shares and European shares and UK shares and Australian shares. You can buy in a TFSA account or an RA account, in a pension account. You can buy a recurring investment. You can do an FX transfer. You can buy easy properties and easy crypto. You can get your company pension fund on our platform. And you can do a whole host of other things as well. And in that strength is our weakness, is that we haven't made it easy for people to understand which parts of the system, which parts of this capability are relevant to them. And so and I think that'll unlock the first part of our weakness. If we constantly strive to make it easier, then we will open up more audiences. We will grow faster and get bigger communities. And I think the genius of, in any business, I really believe this, and I think Apple is the leader in this, and certainly Steve Jobs was the kind of the visionary on this, is that the real art of business is taking very complex things and making them simple. And I think that was what the genius of EasyEquities was. We took a complex thing, one thing, and made it simple, investing in SA shares, and everyone fell in love with it. And then in the last 9 years, we've taken lots of other complex things, but we haven't had the same desire or same ambition to make it that simple. And so that's going to unlock, as a wise 50-year-old, not so wise, but as a 50-year-old, that would be my advice to us, as easy as 9. You've got to keep striving for that simplicity. Don't focus just on how wonderful, how many bells and whistles you have on the platform. How easy is it to use? Why should I use it?
And for me, the simplicity comes to sticking to the basic principles of know why you're investing in something. And unless those reasons change, don't buy or sell.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a classic case just recently when crypto starts going up. You have a massive amount of people that are putting money in and buying crypto.
Yeah.
Don't do it when the prices are high. Don't sell when prices are low. Understand why you're in something.
You buy something because you believe there is there's a perceived value. You have a perceived value of something that is greater than the market consensus, i.e., and let's use Purple Group because it's kind of the share price is
close to home.
Yeah, kind of close to home. The share price is a low light for me, but no doubt about it. But what does the share price say? It's the perceived value of the group. And so people are saying that the sum of all of these highlights and lowlights is equal to 70 cents. And I would look at that and go, that's ridiculous. And so I would be a buyer, but others might look at it and say it's overvalued, and so they would be sellers. But the point is, if you find perceived value in something and the crowd doesn't believe that value, then whether the share price is going up or down shouldn't change your perception of that value.
Yeah. And we'll unpack this a lot more at our results, which will be towards the end of November. And share, obviously you can't share much now in a closed period, but we'll definitely share far more.
I do want to go back to it, but not now, because I want to move on to the third highlight, because you've put me under this massive time constraint. But the third, and then I want to circle back to value, and Purple Group and value, not about the share price, but just to try and articulate our value better. But the third one for me is our partnerships.
Mm.
And so it's bizarre that they're all P's, but they are people, platform, and partnerships. But the partnerships, 9 years ago, you could never, ever have signed off on the fact that we were capable of partnering the people, the brands, and the businesses that we have. And not just locally. You know, we know the local incumbents, but Discovery, Capitec, Sanlam, Satrix, Bidvest, Telkom, these are household brands. These are top 40 organizations in the country. All of them partners to EasyEquities, who's just 9 years old. Imagine, you know, that's like your infant. That's like your 9-year-old kid running on for the Springboks to play against New Zealand tomorrow night. And this 9-year-old kid is playing with the Springboks tomorrow night. And so I'm so incredibly grateful to the partners for seeing what we see and partnering them internationally. GCash, who are South Africans we know little about, but they are multiples of the size of all of the ones I've just mentioned. You know, if let's just take Capitec as the biggest retail bank in South Africa, something like 16 to 20 million customers. GCash, 70 million customers. And so they are 2 to 3 times bigger in terms of customer base. And they've partnered us. They've picked us. They've picked this 9-year-old to lead the future of their investment platform strategy around, you know, investing in stocks. So the partnerships is a massive, massive highlight for me. But in reflecting on that highlight, I've also looked for the weakness in that strategy. And I guess the weakness is simply we have access, and I just want to personalize it back to South Africa because the Philippines isn't yet taken off or isn't yet live. But South Africa, through those partnerships, we have access to 60% of South Africa. So of that 55 million, 60% of them are within our sites as a result of these partnerships. And as a result of these partnerships, we've acquired less than 300,000 customers. And if you reflect on that for a second, that has to be probably our biggest weakness, is why haven't we translated this incredible engagement between our brand and their businesses, their business and our business, into an engagement with their customers? We've got something wrong in the way that we're partnering, and I know that we're getting better at it and we're learning, but we're 9 now, and some of these partnerships are 3 or 4 years old, and our weakness is that we haven't solved that problem.
And I think also the weakness in the partnerships is relationships aren't easy. They don't strengthen overnight. They're not a success overnight. And we need to tell our stories better as partners.
Yeah.
Like, where are we going with EasyEquities, and discover, you know, what is working? Because there is a lot of success in each of the partners that you mentioned.
Yeah, there is.
You know, if you look at daily clients from Capitec, if you look at the functionality, accessing EasyEquities from your Discovery app, etc., there's a lot. We're not good enough at those relationships. And you know, for me, a low light is that we need to spend more time telling this, but we're distracted with so many other things to do.
Yeah.
Reason, not an excuse. So it's a good thing.
Well, I'm famous internally for saying you can have excuses or results, and I don't think we have any excuses. I mean, but those 3 things: people, platform, and partnerships, they're my highlights and their lowlights, but they are demonstrably, they evidence our value. And I want to go back to the share price now, not the share price purple, because the share price is just a number. But when people look at the business and try to understand our value, the things I'm proud about is the value that we've created in those communities, those people, in that platform, and in those partnerships.
And so, just interrupt before you carry on your value point, maybe just a reflection on, you know, purple doesn't equal EasyEquities. EasyEquities is a big chunk of it. But when we say purple, what are we talking about? Yeah,
so I mean, purple is 90% EasyEquities today. And it's not just EasyEquities, sorry, it's the Easy Group. We should rather refer to. And the Easy Group, as everyone knows, is made up of EasyEquities, Easy Crypto, Easy Properties, Rise, which is Rise/Easy Retire. More recently, Easy Asset Management, which is of Emperor Asset Management, and then Easy ETFs, which is about to launch its first ETFs into the South African market, active ETFs. And then finally, GT247.com, which will be rebranded very soon, Easy Trader. And so in the very near future, when we talk about Purple Group, we're talking about the Easy Group and the construct of all of those companies. And I didn't miss anything. No, because these things change all the time. Yeah. And in that construct, you've got Philippines, which is Easy something, and we've got Australia, which is Easy something as well. But when you're going to talk now about value, why it's important to highlight that is because, you know, you say now everybody knows that, everybody does it. Yeah. We've got, you know, the 850 million active clients in a ZAR wallet, for instance. We need 1 million active clients in a TFSA. That's sort of a no-brainer in my opinion. Yeah. We need a million in USD, etc., etc. Yeah. You know, Easy Property, highly successful, 100,000 clients, portfolio over 400 million, fantastic properties, passive income. Why only 100,000? Yeah. So we're not good enough at that. And I think that's because we're 9. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you asked a 9-year-old what their strengths and weaknesses are, they'd find it hard to articulate. And I think as a 9-year-old business, you do find it hard to articulate. So I think that's why I really wanted to look at it through the eyes of a 50-year-old. What would I criticize EasyEquities for if I was 50, looking at through those eyes? And I think the truth is that it comes back to that urgency around time. Because we're 9, and I said it in my tweet the other day, because we're 9, we see ourselves having decades of time ahead. I said it out loud, and I'm not going to criticize myself for saying it, because why? Why can't we do it today? What's stopping us from accelerating this business plan and doing more of it today? So those are excuses. They're not. And so I think that as turning 9, we must look at our business through the eyes of 50-year-olds. And the insight for me is that we must have greater urgency around time, because all of our customers, why wait 30 years to retire? Why can't we accelerate that by introducing better products or better service or cheaper access or whatever it might be? We all want to do things faster. And so I've had this kind of urgency around time, which has kind of appeared in my life very recently. But I think it's a healthy force for the business too.
Cool. So now to the value in the future.
Yeah. So, when I look at the business, I just look at it through the eyes of the value that we've created, people, platform, and partners. And then I look at the value, the perceived value of the group. And let's just talk about it openly and without any any sensitivities.
Apart from the fact that we're in a closed period.
Yeah, but no, I'm not telling anything that anyone doesn't know. So I'm not worried about that. But basically the perceived value of the group today is that it's worth 70 cents, which when you turn that into a value number is around 800. Let's call it 900 million. Let's just call it, round it up, R1 billion of value is perceived value.
And you're working that out just based on share price versus
share price number, share price times number of shares. That's the perceived value of what we've created and the opportunities that are in front of us. Okay, so let's just unpack that in the context of what I've talked about. 2 million registrations, 1 million active customers. That values those customers. It says that you could take R1 billion and recreate all of that. No, you couldn't. You could try, but with a very high level of uncertainty and a very low probability of getting it right. And so just in our community, I find more value than our share price represents. When you look at our platform, could you take R1 billion and recreate everything that we have? And the answer to that is yes, you could. But hold on, go back one step. You would be 9 years behind the incumbent. And so we have a 9-year advantage, and we're not stopping from building. We're investing more today, much more today than we were investing 9 years ago. So we're accelerating our pace of innovation. So your R1 billion might get you to where we are, but you'd still be 9 years behind. And so the answer therefore is no. And so for me, the share price doesn't even reflect the value of the platform that we've created. And then finally, on the partners, could you take R1 billion and bribe these partners to partner? Could you go to, is it a meaningful number to Capitec, to Discovery, to Telkom, to Satrix, to Sanlam, to Gcash, and say, guys, we've got R1 billion to share amongst all of you. Please partner us. And they would tell you to go away because there's no value in that money. It lasts as long as it comes in the door and then it's gone. There's the values in the people and the platform, and they recognize that. And so you could take all the money in the world, but you wouldn't be able to replicate the partnerships that we've created. And so I don't even believe that the share price reflects the value of our partnerships. And that's just talking about the value as I see it today. And of course, I'm biased and all, I'm a shareholder and all those caveats aside. But that is the way that I view the group. And then I just think about the fact that we're just 9 and that all of this opportunity in this platform and people and partnerships, we're just starting to gain the insights, the instinct, the agility to deliver on the opportunities that we've discovered over the last 9 years. And I don't even think the share price reflects that either. And so I'm not trying to talk up the share price. I'm reflecting, if you like, I reflected on my value as a 50-year-old. What have I achieved? What have I done? What could I have done differently? And, for me, the greatest value I've ever created is the family unit that I've created. And no amount of time or money could ever have replaced what I've created in my family group. And I just wanted to reflect on EasyEquities in the same way, in a very fair, unbiased, I think, passionate way, not dispassionate way. And I think we've created extraordinary value. And that's a strength. The weakness is, and you said it a little bit while ago, we have failed to demonstrably articulate that value to others because they don't see it. Because if they did, we wouldn't be at 70 cents. And so I'm not care about where the share price is, and I never really have. And I know that others, I get criticized for it. Maybe I should worry about it more. But I worry about it less because what I am worried about is the value that we're creating specifically in those products.
And we're focusing on easy equity. So we're going to wrap it up because there's lots more, and you're going to chat for a long time in various platforms when results come out. But I think just closing it up and reflecting a bit on myself and picking up on your three. So starting with people, we've got a phenomenal team, probably 200 odd people. I think that's also amazing that we don't have thousands of people. People are efficient, they work hard, they're passionate. The people we work with are diverse, they get up. We fight a lot in this business because we're direct and we care and we don't always agree, and that's a strength. Yeah, and that's a strength. And I think sometimes we don't realize that. And so for me, I'm extremely grateful for the people I get to work with every day, and then the people we work for. So the community of which we're all a part as users. But there are phenomenal people out there, and we want everybody to succeed. And I get really frustrated when people criticize us for things because we are just trying to do good with and for people. So for me, that's on the people side. The platform, we definitely need to be better at exposing what people can do because there's a hell of a lot. And we also need to be clear that we are a free platform. We must remind ourselves of that as well. We don't charge people to come onto this platform, and there are a range of products. So I think it's fantastic. And then partnership, I look forward to strengthening the partnerships that we've got, building those relationships more. And if people can share their own ideas, as you do through logging a ticket, through social media, through being in touch with us personally. For me, being stopped, and many of us have said this week, being stopped when you wear an Easy branded clothing, which many of us do, it's so gratifying to get a user, and whether it's a young person or old or rich or poor, it just is phenomenal and reminds us. So yeah, happy 9th birthday. I remember our first birthday party, that's why I'm was tense about managing Charles's time, because he spoke at our first birthday party. It was the longest speech Charles has ever made. It was over an hour.
I'm not finished yet.
It was over an hour and a half. So we're going to wrap up by giving Charles the last word. But thank you very much to our whole community. We look forward to many more years to come. So yeah, over to you, Charles.
Cool. It's another P. It's the Philippines. I think it's worth at our 9th birthday just giving a kind of insight. I've just come back. And the truth of the matter is that the opportunities in the Philippines continue to grow. We've run a game, 330,000 game players. Ends today on our birthday. Quite cool that it does. And those 330,000 people now have a relationship with us that we can start to engage with and hopefully convert into real customers, which will all kick off in November. And that's where a lot of our focus will be. But as a result of that game, we've started to build a brand like we did in South Africa when we ran a game 9 years ago. People suddenly took notice of this platform and they recognized that it is significantly different from what is available in the market. So everyone wants to talk to us about it and partnership opportunities about. And that's the good news. And the bad news is it's going to take longer than we would like to get all of the approvals and necessary rights to do all the things that we want to do in that market. And so we have to be much more considerate and respectful of the regulatory environment, of our partners' requirements and their speed and ability to execute at our pace. And that's kind of the bad news. And so the bad news for me, and everyone knows, I don't like slow and steady. I like fast and disruptive and agile. But in the case of Philippines, the opportunity is so significant and we just can't rush it. And so, on our birthday messages, whilst we haven't said anything in the Philippines for a while, we'd rather than say something, we wanted to kind of, just listen for a while. And so the truth is the opportunity sets are growing all of the time. The game was a raging success. Just contextualize. 330,000 people took us years to achieve in South Africa. It doesn't matter that it's a game.
Well, how many people played the game before we
2,000.
I mean, it is irrelevant, and it is very relevant.
Yeah,
we had 2,000 people playing that game, exactly. and most of them were family and friends.
Exactly. And so 330,000 people finished the game now 3 months later, which is cool, on our 9th birthday. And the opportunities are reflective of that 330,000 versus the 2,000 played in South Africa. But as shareholders, as stakeholders, as community, as friends, as platform, as whatever, we just need to have another P, which is a little bit more patience. And I'm not somebody who has that. It's going to take us longer and it's going to be much harder. but the opportunities will continue to grow. The Philippines will be a significant 9 years from now. We're going to be celebrating our 18th birthday and probably our 9th birthday in the Philippines, and it's going to be wonderful. So happy birthday, everyone, and thanks for listening in.
Happy birthday and thanks very much. Have a good weekend.